making a home is full of repeated actions. And if we're being real, it can get a little monotonous, and it can be a challenge to show up each day with renewed energy and inspiration to not only just do the job, but to really rise to the occasion and to do it well. I want to share with you guys some of the things I have learned through the years as a mom to help me just to truly fill up my cup, which I feel like is such an overused saying, but it's one of the best ways really to think about how you really need to pour into yourself and to take care of yourself so that you can turn around and take care of other people. Easily the most impactful thing I do for myself every day is getting up early. I love to be up. I shouldn't say I love to get out of bed early, because who loves to get out of bed before they really have to? But the more that you do it, the easier it becomes. And this is truly a sacred time in the day for me, not only because it fills my cup and it's quiet and it's lovely, but it's quite literally where I pray, I connect with God, I read the Bible. So I will go downstairs, I will make myself, I've started drinking coffee at this time of day. I didn't always do that, but God, a hot cup of coffee, like uninterrupted, is just pure bliss. So I have been doing that in the morning. I add a little bit of heavy cream and of course get my collagen in. And I don't do a ton of caffeine, just a little bit, enough to wake me up, because I feel like if you're drinking tons of caffeine on an empty stomach, it's not the best for your health. But I find that I have no problem doing this with just a little bit of caffeine. And I will sit down, I will read the Bible, still working on Father Mike's Bible in a Year, plugging my way through. I am absolutely loving it. It's changing my life. It's changing the way I see the world. And that is such a gift. So after I have my quiet Bible time, which so life-changing, by the way, starting your day in God's word, I will work out. So I never used to be a morning workout person, but over the last year, I've really just kind of committed to doing this. And now it's just like what I do. And it's something I don't even think about, which another huge gift. Working out in the morning, or just really working out in general, just doing it consistently is so huge. I mean, yeah, for your health, of course, right? But for my mindset, like my energy levels, how I feel, it's truly so restorative, and it makes such a big difference. So I will do that in the morning, and that's how I start my day before the kids wake up. But I did want to mention, I also do this at night too, not the Bible and the workout, but having that quiet time. We put our kids to bed fairly early because we know it's important for my husband and I to like have that time to like restore and recharge before we're back on duty, you know, bright and early the next morning. So ending my days in quiet, spending time with him is so restorative as well. When it comes to boosting your energy levels, I feel like it goes without saying that what you fuel your body with has a huge impact on how you feel and how energized you are. I am always striving to eat as much real, nutrient-dense food as I can so that I can give my body all those raw materials that it needs to thrive, but I also rely on a few key high quality supplements as well. And you guys know one of my absolute favorite supplements is Element. It is an electrolyte drink mix, and out of all the ones out there on the market, hands down, Element is my pick. And that is just because the formula is so simple. There is no artificial colorings or flavorings or really any artificial ingredients whatsoever. And also it has no added sugar in it, which is key. You guys know I am very cognizant of keeping my blood sugar balance, and I'm always encouraging you guys to do the same, because not only is that healthier for your body, but it plays a major role in how energized you feel. So you don't just want to be sipping on sugar. Now that's what it doesn't contain, but what it does contain are key electrolytes your body needs. It has sodium, potassium, and magnesium in the formula. These electrolytes play so many different roles throughout the body, such as energy production, also DNA repair, muscle synthesis, restful sleep, fluid balance in your cells, blood glucose control, blood pressure control. There is so much that electrolytes do. And the thing is, they need to be continually replenished, especially if you are sweating a lot through workouts or just being outside in the heat. I love how easy Element is. You just stick it in your water. It takes 2 seconds to mix it in, and it tastes really good. With drinking Element, I can notice such a difference in how hydrated I feel. And I feel like it always makes me feel mentally like a little bit sharper,
and I always have a little bit more energy. If you guys are wanting to try it out for yourself, Element is currently offering you guys, my viewers, a free 8-count sample pack of their most popular drink flavors, free with any purchase. This is a great way to try out some of their most ordered flavors so that you can find your personal favorite. You can use my link down below or go to drinkelement.com/Becca Bristow to get yours. That's drinklmnt.com/Becca Bristow.
So my morning routine each day really energizes me and I feel like just kind of sets me up for success throughout my day. Another thing that really gives me back a lot of energy and has to do with something that is just kind of required of being a mom and, running a home is creating systems for your repeated tasks. So whether that is a laundry system that, you kind of decide ahead of time what's going to work and just run it that way week after week, or maybe it's a meal planning system, just these things that are part of your job that you're going to be doing over and over and over repeatedly, the more that you can automate and the more that you can decrease the decision making around all of these tasks, it is going to truly give you so much energy back. Because when you think about how often we do these things and how they, how much work can be involved, it's so helpful to just make it easier on yourself and just reduce the workload by reducing the mental load. Another thing that gives me so much energy is creating momentum, which is pretty obvious, but I've learned as a mom that bringing my kids along in the tasks I need to complete allows me to actually stay on top of the things I need to do. So let me explain. So we all have our to-do list that we have to do in the day, right? Like the general things we need to get done to keep the house running, to stay on top of things. But when I was maybe like a younger mom, I feel like I used to wait to do certain things like fold the laundry or, make food or, any other thing I had. A lot of the things I had, you can't do everything with kids, but there's a lot of things that you certainly can. And I used to just put these things off and wait until I was like alone, which is very rare. So I would just end up wasting a lot of time, if that makes sense. And I would end up just kind of like hanging around a lot with my kids, which there's definitely still that happening. Like I love to sit down with my kids and we'll read books or we'll go outside and play. And like, there's absolutely room for that. But when my kids are like up during the day, like it's not just all kid things all the time. Like obviously there's things I need to get done. But the point I'm trying to make is I used to put a lot of things off and like wait until I had a moment to do it alone because I could just get it done much faster. But I've learned that like you're going to be with your kids anyway. Like they want to be with you and they want to be entertained to a certain degree. So bringing them along with you allows you to do things together and get done what you need to get done. So you can create all of this momentum in your day. Another thing that always fills my cup every time is just getting out of the house. So whether that means like loading up in the car and actually like going somewhere and doing something, or just like physically getting outside of the house, like walking through the door and being outdoors versus indoors. And the reason I say that is because first off, there is science behind this. Actually getting out in the daylight programs your circadian rhythm or your internal clock. Exposure to sunlight tells your body this is the time to be active. It increases your alertness and it decreases your melatonin production, which is what makes you feel sleepy, like you're ready to wind down and relax. So actually getting outside literally energizes you just by being exposed to sunlight. Something else that really energizes me and just keeps me kind of fired up and inspired to be a good mom, to take care of my home really well, and to just really nourish my family, both body and soul, is listening to some really good podcasts. There are so many podcasts out there, and there are a few that I love that really just help me, whether it's homemaking or my faith, just to really, like I said, keep me kind of fired up and excited about what I'm trying to get done on a daily basis, because things do get monotonous and we can just kind of like fall into our routines. But it helps me to kind of recenter my focus on what the point of this all is and have more of a long-term view or big picture view of, all these little things I'm doing every day, they are adding up to something bigger, and keeping my focus on that really renews my energy and helps me feel not only just like more up to the task, but excited about it. So listening to great podcasts or even reading really good books, such a great way to re-energize yourself and just make you more excited for the journey ahead. Now, I don't know about you, but I am definitely a planner. I like to have a plan for each day, what I'm doing, what I want to get done, to check off the list and all of that. And something else I have learned is the more I can have a posture of adaptability, the better off I am going to be, especially in this season of motherhood with little kids. But I feel like this really goes for any phase of life. So when I have a to-do list for the day, I might have X, Y, and Z I might want to get done. And I might be really focused on that. But I have learned that nothing thwarts my energy and motivation and momentum quite like having my plans upended, when I wasn't expecting it. And that will really mess with if I let it, it will kind of put me in a bad mood. I will be low energy. I'll just kind of lose all my drive for the moment. And it's something that really does mess with me because, again, I'm a planner. I like to check things off my to-do list and just one thing after the other, just move on to the next. But the more that you can be adaptable and the more that you can just kind of leave room for grace, and especially as a mom, like have lower expectations, like hold yourself accountable, make the to-do list, set out to have a good day, but also always know in the back of your mind that like something else might come up and it might not go according to plan. And, I can just adapt and overcome and it's all going to be just fine. Because the more that you can just be adaptable and flexible and kind of have that posture, the less energy you are going to expend on frustration and having your expectations not met and just all of the negative, emotions that can go along with that can zap your energy real quick. So the more that you can learn to just be adaptable and as flexible as possible while also just doing your best to get done what you need to get done, the better off you're going to be, the more energized you're going to be to show up every day to be the best mom that you can, the best, wife that you can, to create that family culture that you really want. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. It is my prayer that it blesses you in some way, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.